with Shoaib for, I would say, it's a really important update, and it's quite a sad update actually, but it's to highlight the problems that you come up against if you speak out. And this is no matter what your background is. So no matter whether you was born in the UK, whether you was born in Pakistan, whether you've lived in Saudi Arabia, no matter what the background is, the treatment you get if you speak out. Now, people would have seen the previous footage where you went down to the march at the Guildhall, or the demo at the Guildhall. You spoke to Stand Up to Racism. You spoke to the counter-protest, or the actual protest then, Stop the Boats. And from that point, you were able to gather that, well, these people on the Stand Up to Racism side are not very nice people. It's got worse since then, though, hasn't it? So it's got worse through your personal life and through your working life. Yeah. So, first of all, the backlash then from doing them interviews with us in your personal life, what's happened?
So a lot of things has happened. Well, thank you very much for having me, first of all. So yeah, the biggest thing that has happened, that I used to play basketball with the people from the mosque. A lot of them, well, most of them are Muslims. They are born and raised in Swansea, and they are from the Bangladeshi, I would say, background. So anyways, I used to play basketball with them, and after when I went to the Tommy Robinson's march, when I went to that protest, and I've seen it, and I have seen a lot of positivity there, because I was told, like I said, I've never been to any protest. So when I went to the Tommy Robinson march, I've seen all the white people there, all the people of color there, and they have showed me nothing but love. But like I said, I'm not from the UK, so I never knew that. All I knew, what the media tells you, the mainstream media, or, you know, racist bunch, you shouldn't go there, you will be met with hostility. I have never met nothing like that. You know, if anything, like I said, you guys were very good to me as well, like everyone else. So what I thought I would do, in all honesty, was come back from that protest on the 26th. And it gave me a good time. 2 days I took to reflect on everything that has happened. And I thought I'll do an honest post, because not many people of color, like my background, would say, oh yeah, you know what, actually, and just maybe the white people are not racist. Maybe they're not what everyone else is saying that they are. They're making them look like racist, fascist, and all these things that, you know, Hate Not Hope says about the white people. So I did a post on my X, which got attention of almost everybody. Yeah, and
you did make a point of saying at the end of the day, I remember you saying it, I'm looking forward to doing a write-up on this, a post, because you was amazed with the day.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was, and that's exactly what I did. So I wrote a post, and like I said, it got huge attention. I had a lot of messages on my inbox telling me that, you know, you're doing the right thing, this is a good thing to do. And then all of a sudden, I start seeing these fake accounts. And when I went into these accounts, they're only following me. And they might be following Stand Up to Racism, you know, and the people that you would say that they say they're Stand Up to Racism, but they are the real racists. And that is my opinion, because of the facts and the experience that I have had with these people. So anyways, I did the post. People have seen the pictures that I had with everyone that was there, all the love that I've gotten from people. And then, like I said, I start getting these comments from fake accounts and saying that, oh, you know, you're an idiot, you're a Paki. And they're pretending to be the white people now. This is funny that they have names such as John and this and that. and they're writing me things, oh, you're a Paki, you need to get out. And they're saying things that I've only heard the Muslim community in the Bangladeshi Muslim community in Swansea. They have said to me on my face that, oh, you're a Paki, you're not British, you're not Welsh, I don't know why you're doing this, you don't belong here. And I was looking at them and I said, you know, you guys are Asians, right? You are exactly what I am. And you're telling me all this while preaching to other people. Oh, this is something that white people say. But 8 years in the country as an immigrant, I never heard any white people telling me, oh, you know what, you need to get out. Never. Like 8 years. And this is from experience. And when you talk about the white privilege, and people say, oh, white privilege. And again, these are the same people who are telling me about white privilege. Yet I have had jobs in amazing places, right? Very hard to get jobs. And then I was asking them, where is the white privilege of those 18 candidates that was with me, that did the interview with me, right? If anything, I see the diversity hires, right? I see people in jobs and in places that shouldn't be there, but they are there either because they are brown. You know, like I said, diversity hire. Oh, we need to have people of color, 40%, 20%, whatnot. So, and again, that is wrong. For me, it's always been the case, if I can do a job, to the point that they expect me to do, of course hire me. If I can't do it, exactly, the best person for the job. And, that happened. And then I start getting hate from everywhere. I start getting threats. I start seeing people sitting outside my house.
Yeah.
And it's not only me. I had almost 8 witnesses, which is my neighbors that know me very well. And they kept telling me these people were hanging about your car and everything. And when I did call the police, they said to me, well, they didn't do anything to you, so we can't really do anything for people just hanging about.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, that is fine.
Well, I don't know if we did properly cover it, but because I know we put a post out and you put a video out.
Yeah.
But after that event, you had threats from the Stand Up to Racism people on a phone call.
Phone calls.
And they were ringing you saying that they were going to get Afghanis to come to your house.
Exactly. Yeah, that was all of them. And when I confronted them, saying that you guys have leaked my details to somebody, and they were just flat out, they just said no, it doesn't happen. So like I said, these were things, they were not facts because I was just assuming, and I said that's fine. And then the next thing happened after that match. I went to my basketball match, which I used to play with them at Gower College.
Yeah.
And we used to play every Tuesday.
And you've done that for a while?
Yeah, for 2 years. I did that for 2 years, right?
Same group as well?
Same group. Same people, every time they've got the same people that I played with. And they were, like I said, they've been nothing but nice to me. And I've been nothing but nice.
They were friends?
But I would call them friends, but not really now that I know the reality. But I used to call them friends. You're absolutely right, I did. But then on the day that I was supposed to go and play my basketball, in the morning I got a message from a number that wasn't saved in my account. But he probably got my number off the other basketball group or the football group.
Because you're in WhatsApp group.
Yeah, WhatsApp group. Yeah, because they used to tell us what time we're playing, what are the teams and everything. So I was in that group. So he messaged me and he said, "Oh, hey, my name is Rizwan." So I know who this guy is. He's very much into the Swansea Mosque. He leads prayers in like it's called Taraweeh when they have it in Ramadan time, when the night prayers, and he leads those prayers. So for me, now I'm taken from a face value, which you would do for about any preacher. Let's say a Christian preacher called me, and if he's going to tell me something, which he said to me, Rizwan said to me, "Oh, I would like to have a chat with you." And I said to him, "Okay, what is the chat about?" And he said, "Oh, it's about your far right thing."
Yeah.
Your far right thing. When he said your far right thing, I was like, straight away I knew that it's not going to be a very pleasant talk. But
and even at that point, right? If you would think, like, if for example Stan was doing something that I thought, oh, maybe well, there are some times that I've rung Stan, like, oh, maybe think about that again or whatever. But he's laughing. But and that's not, at that point, it's not necessarily a bad thing, because if it was a conversation and it was just to try and find out, look, show up, what's going on here? This is happening. I want to speak to you as a friend. Yeah. Is that how it went? Was it a friendly discussion, or
Yeah. So he said to me, and I spoken to some of my friends. Obviously, I told them, and they told me not to go.
Yeah.
Because my thing, like you just said, it's a conversation, and I welcome any conversation, any debate. If you can change my mind, tell me my facts are wrong, I'm more than happy to get that done as well. So I was told by a lot of my friends not to go alone, and it's not right. I said no, it's okay. I want to give them an equal and a fair chance.
Yeah. You was warned it could be a setup.
Exactly. Yeah. I was warned. I think everybody told me it was a setup, but I obviously. When I couldn't care less if it was a setup, if they wanted to get boys to beat me up, and I just couldn't, honestly, I couldn't care. But then after that, when everything was going on, the only thing that I was thinking about, I actually wanted to go and have a chat with this guy. Maybe he can change my mind, and that's exactly, I opened mind, and I went there. And not only that, we actually ended up playing a good basketball match. We actually had a full-on 1 hour match. And after the match, I came to him and I said to him, "Oh, is it okay if you want to have a chat now? Because I will be on my way. I need to go home. It's 10 p.m. So he said, "Yeah, just a second. I'm waiting for someone else." And I was like, "You're here to have a chat. I got no one else with me. So why can you and me, like a man, have a chat and be on our way?" He said, "No."
Arranged.
Yeah, exactly. But he said, "No, I need to get one of the guys." And that guy, again, he's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
So when he said his name, I said, "Yeah, that's fine." Because I was hoping that it wasn't a setup. Because when he said that guy's name, and I said, "Oh, he's a nice guy. I've known him for 2 years." And not only that, I actually have had breakfast with this guy outside. So I trusted him. I did. And I said, "Okay, that's fine." So he came with me while all the other boys were just hanging about outside. He said to me, "Oh, we want to take you away from everything, and I want to speak to you, have a chat away from it." And I agreed to it. I said, "Okay." Went towards my car, and he said to me that, "Oh, I want to get in your car." And I said, "Well, you can't sit in my car. Let's have a chat here, and we can go." He was like, "Oh, can you just open up your car?" So I unlocked my car. He sat in the back seat of my car, but he was like, his legs were hanging out.
Right.
So he started talking to me. And the moment he started talking to me, and the way he said to me, "Do you know you're on our far right watch list?" And when he said that, and I looked at him, and he said, oh, hang on, he took out his phone, and he's showing me that. When I seen that, all I can see my picture, the picture of my car, and on top of that, people saying that, oh, you know, he's a traitor, he's not a Muslim and everything. So I got a bit worried, and I said, you know what, I wouldn't want to do it here, because I thought maybe if we do it in front of everyone else, because there were two white guys there as well. So I thought maybe everybody will do a put-in, and that way they won't gang up on me. And, you know, I would have an equal and rightful say. And he kept telling me no. And I said, no, we will go in front of everybody else. So now there were 2 of them, and there were 6 of the 6 other people there as well.
So 8 in total.
8 in total, yeah.
And so just to pull it back to that point, he showed you something on his phone.
Yeah.
They've got a far-right watch list or something. And you were now on that list.
Yeah, and they called me super far-right. And they put me on top of Tommy as well. So now Tommy's in jail. They want to put me next. So they put me on top of that. And like I said before, it was all assumptions that I was saying, oh, you know, maybe these are the people from the mosque. Maybe. And this guy, Rizwan, he haven't played with us in basketball in the last almost 9 months. Nobody know who this guy was.
So, right, so you had a message from Rizwan.
Yep.
And basically, he hadn't been there for 9 months.
No,
and he went to play basketball that day.
Only that day.
Just a coincidence as well that he was having a chat with you.
Yeah.
So it reeks of setup, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, again, I like to give them a fair chance, which I did. And then when I went on the other side, when everybody was not, like you said, it was 8 of them. Like I told you, it was 8 of them there. And when I was standing there with the other 8 people there, so I thought maybe everybody will have a different input, because people wouldn't know what's going on. Because that's the perception I had when he told me I would like to have a chat, and I just want one person there so I can you know, have a fair conversation. But when he started talking, when he started saying that, you know, hey boys, do you know about Shop? They were like, yeah, you're racist. Literally, that's how it started. Everybody turned around to me, and they're like, yeah, you know, you're really racist. And I was like, oh, I thought nobody knew what was going on. So it was 100% a setup. They did gang up on me. And now this is what happened. Before we even had a conversation, because they have seen my post and they know what I believe in. And from me, what I believe in, from my perspective, from my opinion, from the experiences that I had, I know I'm 100% right. And for them, they knew that as well, that I am right. And very much, even though there were 8 of them, I could very easily tackle all 8 of them. I don't have a problem, because I didn't run away. And I said, you know what, I will still have a conversation with you. Tell me. So they started off by telling me that Rizwan guy said to me, take off your X, my Twitter account, delete your Twitter account, delete your YouTube account, and we are all good. And I said, I'm not going to do that. Absolutely no way.
All good? So what do they mean? So if you deleted everything that you believe...
then I'd be welcome to play basketball with them. If I didn't do that...
Says the guy who haven't been there for 9 months.
Exactly. Right. And I was looking at the other guy who arranged that, and I looked at him. I said, man, who is this guy? This guy is from the mosque, and he just turned up today to do this. Is this what it is? He's trying to show me some sort of authority that you have on a group that you never played with. So I said to them, I said, this is an ambush. And I said to them, if you want to have a talk, if you want to have a conversation with me, tell me where I'm wrong and where you are right. We can have a talk. But if you're telling me to delete anything, I'm going to walk away right now. You can't don't threaten me, because I'm not scared. Just because of 8 of you guys ganging up on me, or delete your X account. So I said to him, where is the freedom of speech? You got everything. You and your people are out on the street. Oh, Hamas is this, but everyone else is a terrorist. We're going to chop off their heads. They do that. We got clips of them.
We got councillors doing it.
Exactly. This guy, Martin Chapman, that guy working for the Swansea Council, they all they're all doing the same thing. Oh, but that is fine, right? An immigrant who came to the country legally, right? Who have done all the paperwork, who've been through, and I have paid my fees, which is almost £4,000 each time I do an extension. And on top of that, they go through an extensive search about me to know that I haven't had no criminal history, nothing. And they want to point fingers at me and telling me, oh, you know what, you are the racist, you are the criminal, while the illegal people coming in the country on these dinghies and on these boats, you don't even know if these people are criminal or not, because they have no paperwork. Well, for me, I do have something.
Well, you're fully documented.
Exactly. And I've been documented, not only because in Saudi Arabia, again, where I was, raised, is the same thing. The same thing in UK. But anyways, they said to me then they start talking about things that was either irrelevant, right? They were talking about and one of the guys said to me, oh, I'm worried that my mom, she wears a headscarf, she wears a hijab, and she goes out, and I'm worried because of what you are promoting right now. It might lead to the fact that, that people start coming and hitting her. So I said, from my,
So this person was scared for his family because of what you said. Just
exactly.
He's attacked because of what you said.
What I'm promoting, basically. That's what he's trying to say.
Right.
It didn't make sense to me then. It doesn't make sense to me now.
Doesn't make any
because
sense
what I said to him then, I said, my mom as well, she wears the headscarf, right? She does come to the country. She doesn't live in the UK. She lives in Saudi Arabia, very happy there. She just come here because she want to visit me. She want to come and spend time with me. And I said, that woman, my mother, she's illiterate. She never went to school, but she still speaks English. You know why?
Yeah.
Because she know that her son live in the UK, and for her, the only best thing she can do for the country that's given me absolutely everything is learn a little bit of English.
Yeah.
Right? I wouldn't expect her to learn because I'm always there with her. I'm doing everything for her, but she thought it was her duty to learn English. And when I said this to the guy, I said, my mom, right, who doesn't speak English properly and who come to UK almost twice a year, and she's been doing that for the last 10, 11 years, right? Never had any issues. But you telling me, someone who's been born in the country, knows everything about Swansea, telling me to get out because you are more British than I ever will be, and you're telling me, oh, this can happen to you. So this is a lie. Yeah. You're lying to me because as an immigrant, if I can't see it, as my mother who's an immigrant who doesn't know the custom and the ways of the country, but she still abide by the rules, and she had never had any problems, how do you expect me to believe it? Because what you're telling me is lies. I'm talking from experience, but you're just telling me, oh, I am worried this can happen. But it's not going to happen.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And, the simple fact that, from what I've got from speaking to you is that they couldn't really nail down anything wrong that you've said, because some people, you say were saying things about Tommy Robinson was inciting these riots.
Yeah.
So these riots that recently happened, the go-to line is from the mainstream media, unfortunately from the groups like EYST, Nikki, Nisha, and the mosque, is that this was incited by the EDL, Tommy Robinson, and there was accusations made that Tommy was walking around leading gangs of thugs, beating up Muslims and smashing windows of Muslim communities.
Houses,
Now, I don't know if that was Rizwan who said that or somebody else.
It was another guy, but they were all already have planned this. Yeah.
Well, Tommy was actually out of the country, so he wasn't even in the country at that point when this is supposed to have happened. So my concern there, who told him that? Who told this guy that Tommy Robinson's been walking around beating up Muslims? Because that's it's just an absolute outright lie. So the concern is who's giving them the information.
Correct. Yeah.
Now, this Rizwan guy, is he British born?
Yeah, he is. He is British born, and he's been in Swansea, what he told me, from the last 31 years. And he was just there. So these all talk happen. And the conclusion with it, because the thing is, they were saying things to me, and I was telling him no, because even though there were 8 of them, they thought I'll probably back down. I'll be like, you're right. Yeah. I wasn't stopping. He kept saying things to me, and I keep saying things to them. Yeah. And I could see him sitting down, shaking his head, and I was saying, what are you going to do? Why are you shaking your head? What is it that you think you're going to do? Because I'm there by myself. You think I'll do something?
Was he hostile then? Do you think he was looking
No, he was. And the other guy kept telling him, so he was saying something to him in Arabic, so which means sabr. Sabr means patience.
Right.
And he kept telling to him in Arabic, and he was just like this. Rizwan was sitting there, and he was going like this, like a bloody animal, and he's just doing all of these things. And I looked at him, and the other guy was holding him and saying, have sabr, have sabr. And I said to him, have sabr, have patience for what? What do you think he's going to do to me that I'm here by myself? I said, I'm not scared of you guys at all.
Yeah.
So when I said that, they all realized, you had a Welsh guy. I was so disappointed. You had a Welsh white guy just jumped in.
Was he a Muslim?
No, he's not Muslim. And this is what he said to me. He said to me, I don't know what's going on, but Shoaib, how can you be a racist? I said, you just said you don't know what's going on. Then why are you calling me a racist for? So I know what it was. He probably wasn't scared as much, looking at what was going on, and because he knew what was the conclusion for it was.
Yeah.
So the end game was, they said to me, this is your last chance. You either go and delete all your ex posts, you delete your ex Twitter page, you delete your YouTube. Everybody have seen my YouTube. I do stupid videos on there, funny videos that literally absolutely make no sense. And they wanted me to delete that as well. They said, delete everything. And from next week, you're back in playing basketball with us. And I looked at them and I said, no. So this guy now, Rizwan, with the people that I've played basketball with for 2 years, not him, everyone else I did, He stand up and he said everybody, we are going to take a vote. We're going to take a vote and we're going to ask everybody that if they want you playing here now. And I said to them, forget the vote. I'm not going to put these people, who have actually been kind to me, in a position where I look at them and say, these are not my friends.
As much as they're in the wrong for sitting there silent, you were still being a decent person saying to... And he said this after you'd already said that you're out.
Yeah.
You said, listen, I'm out.
I kept telling them, I said, you know what, I'm not going to delete nothing.
But he still wanted for this vote.
Exactly.
So
he wanted to show me that people are against you, but they were not.
Yes, that's exactly it.
The thing is, if you were there, you would have listened to what one of the guys who were talking about Tommy and said. He came to me and he said to me, look, I will shake your hand because you are a good person and we wish this didn't come from you, because they were disappointed. But that guy, that guy was there to show authority. Like I said, he never played with us, but he was there from the mosque. And he was saying that, guess what? If you're going to go against us, these are the precautions we're going to take.
Yeah.
And this is what's going to happen to you. So either shut your mouth, right? Don't say anything. Otherwise, this will happen. And I said to them, you don't need to take a vote, right? I'm going to be a better man. I'm going to walk away. I don't need it. And I've got messages that I can show you from the guy who's talking about Tommy. He actually messaged me. And he said, you have paid for 10 weeks. We have only done 5 weeks. Can I return you the money for the 5 weeks? I said to him, no. I said to him, I don't need your money. It's fine. And I said to him, you've been kind to me. You've been good to me. But I just wish that you could see that we shouldn't bring politics into sports and anything else.
The other guy, that guy who shook your hand at the end, said the things about Tommy Robinson, and you said he's messaged you since about the money, he seems like a decent guy.
Yeah, he is. And not only him, I think the other guys that were there, they were also nice.
Yeah.
A lot of them, like I said, look, they gave me hugs before, like, except for the Rizwan guy.
Yeah.
Everyone else, and also that Welsh guy as well. Like I said, I just couldn't believe it. I just didn't understand what was his role. And then I think they just needed, you know how they have diversity hire for the brown people? They had a diversity hire for a white guy. They're like, we're going to have a white guy there who's going to do a put-in. And he was just walking around back and forth, not hostile at all. Like I said, on the group message, that white guy, the Welsh guy, he actually messaged me and he said, look, man, you know, you're a nice guy and I hope you find peace and guidance. And I was like, I don't know what that means, but thank you very much. But again, like I said, they kicked me off all the groups. And as everything was coming to an end, as I said to them, you don't need to vote. I'm out. I'll just take the leave and I'll go. So they gave me hugs. And it is very sad to see because like you just said, you know, you need to know these people are misguided. Most of them are not even misguided. They're just scared. They're scared of what has happened. So for me, I know, look, I came here by myself to the country. I'm very much okay being by myself. But if you look at these people, some of them, they got their families here. You know, they got friends in the community. A lot of them don't disagree, you know, don't agree with everything. But they are what you call the silent majority.
Well, look what happens when you do disagree.
Exactly.
You know, and this is the point. You've disagreed about certain things. And all you did, you know, if we're going to be totally frank, is you were told that group is a horrible group. And you decided to go and see for yourself.
Exactly, and I did.
And you did.
And like I said, I just did it as a point of view, which I thought people need to see. There has been a lot of things, like I said, look, there are people that don't even come to the UK and all of a sudden they're like, oh, the white people, the white man, the white this. Well, I'm telling them otherwise. And I can, you know, very confidently say there has been a lot of people who have seen that. There has been a lot of people who actually agree with what I've said. And the same reason that I'm telling you they couldn't say anything while they were kicking me off the basketball team was the fact that they live here. This is their home. They know they're not going to go anywhere else. This is it for them. And they're probably worried about their kids and their wives and their family members. What if we disagree? So this guy Rizwan.
But they're worried about their own people then.
Exactly.
That's not
I know.
good.
That's not good. But for me, like I said, look, I am speaking on behalf of people that a lot of them I don't even know. Like I said, look, if I was born and raised in the UK, I would have understood. I would have said, yeah, you know what, this is my fight. Well, I say this is my fight now because I am in the country, right? I love the country more than anything else because this country has given me absolutely everything that I've got today. The type of man I am today, it is because of the country that I lived in, which is the UK. And for these people not to stand on the right side and just be the silent majority by telling me behind the scenes, oh, you know, we agree with you. You know, we love what you're doing. You keep doing it. But then you see what's happened to me. Why not come out and be the majority rather than being the silent minority? So, again, like I said, that's what they've said to me. They've showed me a lot of love. It's just that Rizwan guy, he came from an authority. So he said to me, and I used to play football with them as well. And I didn't play football with them for the last 1 year and a half because of my injury that I had on my feet. They never kicked me out of the groups, right? I was still a part of their group because they will be sending messages and everything. But when Rizwan came and he left, I got kicked out of all of the groups. I have no access to anything, which is fine. Like I said, if I'm not playing with them, I don't need no access, which is absolutely fine. Doesn't bother me. But this is the reality of anybody who's trying to speak against them. So me, I was made an example that day on that Tuesday by telling people, if you think you're going to have a voice against us, this is exactly what's going to happen. So we will start by your, by your sports, which they know I love the most. I love the sports so much.
It's your social life. You know, you work hard. You work hard. You like to have a bit of a break, and sports was your break. So it's important to you.
I love sports, and usually in my car I always have a basketball, and I will always have a pair of shorts. Exactly. And that's what I do. Anywhere I see a basketball and I see somebody playing there, I literally go and change, and I start playing. I always have my shoes and the ball ready. This is how much I love sports, and they know that I love that because they've seen how hardworking I am and how much I play. So they thought, they can blackmail me, which they did. But again, like I said, I'm a lot different than a lot of other people. That a lot of people might would have said, you know what, yes.
Well, it's coercive behaviour.
Exactly.
You know, they're trying to, you know, look, if you delete all this, you can.
Yeah, you can. You're more than welcome. That's what they said. You're welcome to play with it. But I said to them no, and they kicked me off. And as I said, this is something that is this is the reality now. By the way, everybody needs to know this.
Yeah.
So this is what it is. So these are okay. So now we start off by the basketball. This is just one small little thing, and now we go to fast food chains. So in Swansea, if you go to St. Helens, if you go to Uplands, a lot of them are owned by Muslims.
Yes.
Right. And like I said, not all of them, you know, even they can't be the majority of them agree with what I'm saying. But now this has happened. What is stopping them from saying, oh, you see this guy? You know, like I said, they have circulated my picture everywhere. You see this guy, don't serve him food. What is it that's stopping them? Because a lot of these people from the mosque either work with them or work for them or actually own them.
Yeah. Well, it's a community.
It is a community. And for me, I understand this. And I know people will say, oh, you don't need to eat halal. And this. It's not about eating halal, not eating halal. It is the fact that a country, the UK, has given these people, right, a place, a safe place to run their businesses, to actually earn money from it, to buy houses, to buy cars, to have the amazing life that they have. But guess what they're doing now? They're being traitors by telling the people, if you don't agree with us, which, you know, most of the white people gets it anyways, right? You know, they either charge them higher, they won't give them the change back, they will try to do all these things, they make the food nasty, and they'll be like, if you don't want to eat it, don't eat it. You know, because they've got a really big community, like you said. And the scary thing is, not always, but sometimes I feel like, oh, you know, I need to go to St. Helens, I want to eat something. Nothing's stopping them from saying, yeah, we're not going to serve you. We're not going to, we got nothing for you. Because since then, since they've kicked me out of the basketball group, I have seen a lot of hostility from people. Usually, when I used to walk in Swansea, people used to come up to me, say hello to me, because they know the type of character that I've got. There is one thing I did not want to discuss, but I will say it because this is something that I think I should just say it. There was a special needs guy who was moving into a new place, in a new house, and they on the group of, 50, 60 people, they were sending out messages, and these are the people who know each other, sending out messages, hey, can anybody come and help this guy? So like I said, look, I'm not from their community, I'm not from here, but I seen that message come up, and even though I work, full-time job, and little bit of time that I had, I said, you know what, I'll go and I'll help the guy. And when I turned up, I was expecting a big turn up. Nobody turned up. There were literally 1 or 2 guys there, and I was the third one. And while I was painting the guy's walls, right, they didn't pay me any money. They didn't give me no food, but I was there just wanted to help a guy. That's it. Literally, that's all it was. And they all know from the mosque that I've done that. Not only that, there is a lot of charity towards the mosque and towards the homeless people that I do, not every now and then. Most of the time, I do it all the time. I usually have some clothes that I don't wear. I'll have it in the back of my boot. And when I go to these places, you know, where I get my car washed and I see these guys wearing a T-shirt and this thing, I literally will come out of my car. Not saying that, oh, I'm going to give you this so you don't charge for. I will pay the money for the washing that they've done. But then I will give them some of my jackets that I need to give charity. But this is the type of charity I like to do. I don't like to do the invisible charity where I take things and dump it somewhere or it's going to go. No, I like to see where it's going. And these people are not Muslim. These people are not Muslim. These people, some of them are Romanians. Some of them, you know, these from every walk of life. And they know that very well because they've seen me. A lot of people have seen me doing that. You know, when I'll go to Upland, I'll see people sitting on the street. I'll try to buy them food.
And this is the point, see, because your character, I think, is, you know, they know it's impeccable, you know, as in you will help anyone. You genuinely care about people. You said when your friend was ill, he had a knee operation.
He had a knee operation. I was messaging them as well. If you need anything, tell me, I'll help you. And I say this to everybody and anybody.
That's why they're worried, because they know that you are credible. You know, you are a credible source of information. You're not just regurgitating what you're told. You'll go and see it for yourself, and then you'll report back.
Exactly.
What you
it's just
see.
My experience. I tell everybody anything that I've said is from experience and from facts. I won't speak about anything that I'm not sure of. So you know, they know all these things, and I'm not going to lie. Yes, the basketball was a big part of my life, because that was something that I used to look forward to every Tuesday. And it did. I was disappointed. I was hurt. I'll be honest with you. I was hurt a little bit, and I was thinking to myself, all these people giving me hugs and telling me, oh, we love you, you're a good person, and we wish it wasn't you. I wish one of them just came up and said, you know what, guys, let him be. It's a free country. If you want to say something, let him be an idiot. Why we need to bring it to the basketball? I was disappointed. I'm not scared of them, to be honest. I couldn't care less if they turn up to my house and my workplace and all these things. I don't care. But the thing that I did care about, for me, as an immigrant to the country, I always thought Great Britain, the UK will be different from every other place. But these people have actually brought their third world thinking, right, uncivilized thinking, I would say, to this country, and they expect everybody follow the rule of the, the rule of the stick. We will hit you, and we'll tell you need to follow this, and we call them sheeples. You've been told something, you look at them, be like, yeah. But I'm not that. I'm not that. Yes, I come from a third world country, and that's why I can compare everything. Look, I know people got a lot of things about the police, and I see there is a lot of things, because it happened to me personally as well. Even then, I was telling to the police, I know you guys have done me wrong. Because of you guys, a lot of things has happened. But again, I have nothing but respect for you. But this is not to do with everybody else's belief, but this is my belief, and this is the respect I give everybody.
And you are allowed to say what you believe.
Exactly.
At the end of the day, this is a country where you are allowed to say what you believe.
Yes.
You've got people walking around openly promoting the fact that they got puppy fetishes and cat fetishes. So if you can do that, surely you're able to speak the truth.
Exactly.
Which is what you've done. Now, the other thing as well, obviously, I want to touch on the EYST, because it was interesting, because before we had met, me and Stan did a little expose sort of thing on EYST, who were going into schools. It was a man called Nicky Nisha, and he was going to schools, and he'd go in with a bit of banter, saying, "Oh, I'm a Chelsea fan, giving it all that, from London. And what he would preach is he'd be telling white Christian kids, teaching about the 5 pillars of Islam. He would then be teaching about refugees and how they're not allowed to work and they only get £5 a day, and poor refugees. He'd then go on to say, oh, if any of you parents have got far-right views, or brothers or sisters or anything like that, we've got confidential forms you can give it in, so that goes to prevent. So they're basically getting children to rat on their parents. We were concerned about EYST because it is in schools, and we wanted to know what safeguarding procedures have been put in place. Now, what we were told is that the Welsh Government are the ones who decided they're okay, they can go in, and they're allowed to go into schools. But Nicky, it hasn't sat right. Nicky, there's 2 things. There was a guy in Castle Gardens, and he was then not happy with the Palestine march going through. We got the video, so I'll play some clips here.
I did 2 things again. Can you learn some manners, please, and stop being abusive? I'm not being abusive. Stop being abusive. You're calling people terrorists, that's a hate crime. I was born and bred. I'm from Swansea. I'm just telling you, you just entitled. You've called people terrorists. No, you said that I didn't. I said, excuse me. Support of terrorism. No. She said I'm from Swansea. She said I'm from Swansea. And it's really quite sad, and I'm recording this. On your own video, it will see what you agree with. And it's really sad to see that the police is not doing nothing about a man like this. Sir, I had an independent witness, and you never arrested anybody for calling me a terrorist. And then you said, Nick, you're being racist to us. How am I being racist to you?
Because you said we're not dealing with you properly because of the colour of your skin. Now,
correction. What did I say to you? I said don't expect justice because of the what? Colour of your skin. The colour of your skin. Have you received justice? No. But you had him there, and I've got that on video. And it's on video all of Castle Gardens. Officer, we were called. Am I paid to protect you, or are you paid to protect me? Thank you. Officer, was you listening? Because I have 4 witnesses that are ready to make statements to the Independent Police Commission, right, about you, officer. So officer, we need to understand something. You had an independent witness. You had an independent witness. You let her go. I've got her details. No, but officer, because you came in there all willy-nilly as if I was the thing. No. I've got the video on my.
No. Treat us all equally. You should have stopped him and not let him go.
So you had no intention of looking for him either? It's all on camera. Like this. Everything's on my camera. Everything's on my camera. Go.
So you can see, there's things that's happening here, and this is Nicky who's filming this guy, that are provocative, and I would say, intentionally trying to get this gentleman in trouble. There's also that, but then obviously we also hear that he's got a criminal past. So there's issues there around how these people are getting placed into schools and what their agenda is. So what's your experience with that place?
So see, I will start off by saying the first thing, I wouldn't want anybody going to any schools, it's a Christian country. I know people have told me otherwise. I don't care. To be honest, look, this is
a Christian country.
Yeah, exactly. Like I know, but you know the other side that I know it's not a Christian country. But no, yes, freedom of everything is there. Yes, you are right. But then at the same time, it is a Christian country. And if my kids are going to a school, right, and they're going to a Christian school, and I know people, and I know a lot of my cousins that went to Christian school, they are Muslims, and they will be hums, and they don't do this anymore. When they used to do it, so my cousin will just be quiet. They won't go out of disrespecting, saying, oh, guess what, you've done this Christian hums, now you need to do the Islamic. No, you can't do that the same way. You wouldn't be allowed to do it in a Muslim country.
Exactly.
You go to a Muslim country, the first thing they do, because I went to the school there, and what they would do, they will have their Quran playing in the beginning, and like any Christian country would play the Bible or whatever they've got to say, and that's it. There was never that, oh, you played the Quran, now you need to play verses from the Bible. It was nothing like that. So I believe in my heart, because it's a Christian country, you shouldn't be allowed to go to school and tell the kids, or anybody should tell the kids, oh, these are the Islam, this is the religion. You don't need to say that. But I know people will come out and say, oh, but is the religion of a speech? If you're talking about the religion of a speech, right, you need to give me my freedom of speech, then you can come and tell me this is okay. Because how is it that is okay? But when a Muslim guy tries to speak against a community which is hostile, right, which does have the thuggish behavior, like, oh, listen to us, if you don't, you're a racist. How is that is okay? But when we are saying, oh, it's my kids, I don't want my kids knowing this, how is that not okay? If our Christian parents say, no, you are not going to go, right, you're not going to brainwash my kids by telling them, oh, Islam is this, religion is that. No, you can't do that. While what we see in the media these days is all these religious Muslims, right? I say this as a Muslim, going around hating people, beating up women, being, the sexual behaviors that they're bringing up to the street. I don't want to see that. And I'm a Muslim. I don't care you're black, you're white, you're Muslim. If you're gonna act like an animal on the street, you are gonna be put in a zoo. It's simple as that. You don't belong here. If my kids are out and about and I see these people, you think I'm gonna stand there and be like, call the police? I'm not gonna call the police. They will have to deal with me directly. And this is what these people are doing. So yes, and EYST, yes, I have had a very direct connection with them, because when I came new to the Swansea, I was met with Nikki, and I was met with all the people in the EYST, because and I honestly took that as something that I thought, oh, maybe this is because they said, oh, they try to help people, and I've seen a lot of kids there. But that time I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh my God, this is such a good thing they're doing. They're helping kids. They've got all the, but I have always seen young kids. So any activities they will have with young kids. Very highly unlikely they will have activity. But I used to play with them as well, badminton. We'll used to go play pool. But it was mostly to do with the kid. But at that time, I didn't understand. I just thought, oh, maybe he's doing something good. And then when the Guildhall thing happens, and I see the Palestinian people, a lot of them were from EYST. And I was looking at them, and these were the same people who have leaked my information, who I used to see in the mosque, and they would be so kind to me. Now they look at me, they're looking at me like this. They look staring at me as if I've done something. And I'm like, I'm not even a hostile guy. Like, even if I have an enemy, I would like to speak to them. I wouldn't like to fight. I don't fight. I try not to get into fights, I'm not scared. If I have to fight, obviously I will fight. But then I like not to have a fight. This is not my style. So with EYST, after that protest at Guildhall, I started seeing things that I just couldn't believe, and I realized what their agenda was. And after finding out that they are actually going into the school, and this is basically brainwashing.
Yes.
If you ask me a question directly, which is if I would have my kids going into EYST with the likes of Nikki, and there's another guy, Halal, his name is Halal, he's another idiot that I know, that he goes around and he's saying things to me and about me and hide behind these fake accounts. If you're asking me directly, as a Muslim, will I send my kids there? Absolutely not. And another question that you've asked me, what do I feel about it? No, this is not right. I will go to the school personally. Like I said, I'm always a one-man army. I don't need many people behind me. I'll turn up by myself, which I have always done. And I will turn up to the school and I will hold everyone accountable. Even that means losing my job, even that means losing everything that I worked so hard for. I will still stand there for the rights of my kids, because this is exactly what I'm doing. My life is, almost done. I have lived my good life, and now I'm seeing the country go down. And like a lot of other people do that, oh, we have lived our life, let's stay away from it. Well, you don't get it. What about your grandkids? What about your children? What's going to happen to them?
Exactly, and that's exactly right. It's the forward thinking, actually looking further, than the end of your life. Like I think of my children's life, and at some point I'm going to have grandchildren and their life. But with it's interesting you say that. You came here and instantly you were mocked up by EYST. So it is as if it's like, right, they need to get everybody in, and they need to teach them how bad Britain is. Because that's what it seems to be. Yeah,
you're right. But they did start that. But the only thing that I had, which a lot of other people that I see they don't have, is me telling them. So they will tell me things, about this is not right, because like I wouldn't call myself a royalist, but I love the royal family.
Yeah,
I used to show a lot of gratitude to the country. So I used to have King Charles' picture on my car, and and they used to look at it. They'd be like, "Oh, you don't know this guy," and I said, "I don't need to know. He's the king of the country. For me, that it is. He is the king. Till he's otherwise somebody accusing him of something, because now I know everybody get accused of everything they haven't done. So I don't trust anything." So they didn't like that, and they used to say things to me, and I will always question them like I always do. So I think in the beginning they wanted me there. But then there's a lot happen in between where I would challenge them, and I will tell them, look, you can't do this, because in Saudi Arabia, a Muslim country, you try doing this, they probably, you'll be vanished. You don't know where you're gone. But that is a good thing about, and I literally respect that about Saudi Arabia, because they have that thing where everything is under control. And I would love to see a lot of things being controlled in this country. When you tell us there is a freedom of speech, it should be all across the board. Everybody should be allowed to do that. But we don't see that. So I used to question them a lot. So slowly they start putting me away from it. And then when the Guildhall thing happened, they were like, yeah, this is our enemy. And I am their enemy. Like I said, I'm super far right. I'm on top of their list.
Worse
it is what it is. Yeah, worse than exactly.
So you've got that label now, super far right. Yeah. And these labels, they're intentional. Everybody knows you're not super far right, obviously. However, they're done intentionally to cause people problems, whether it be in your personal life, whether it be in your social life, and then your working life. Now, you say there about free speech and how it should be equal across the board. Now, there's an example, and this is going to be, people listening to this aren't going to be pleased with what they're about to hear, because it would appear that this double-sided, what's acceptable and what is not, goes into work and employment as well, where you can have the super far-right views, which is basically just concern, genuine concern through genuine experience. But you can stand up to racism, pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas, and work in the council.
Black Lives Matter and all of these things, that is fun. Yeah, you can do all this and be working for the council, exactly.
So you were... And I can cut this out if you need to be. But you were employed by Swansea Council.
I was, yes. I was till Friday just gone. So that was basically I was employed by the Swansea Council, and
nobody knew that.
Nobody.
I didn't know. We didn't know.
I never tell anybody. Yeah, so I never tell anybody. Like I said, look, I like to keep things separately. For me, my social life is separate to my family life, the same way my family and social life is separate to my work life. So with all these things, I never told anybody, nobody knew. But on Thursday, just gone, what it was, there was a anti-Donald Trump protest that was going on. And again, look, I went there to see for myself. I just wanted to see what Donald Trump has to do with Swansea. I don't think there are any American living there. I haven't seen any.
There might be a few, but
like I said, I haven't seen any. So that's why I wanted to go and meet I wanted to go and meet the Americans there. So I thought, we'll see the Americans. So I turn up. And I went there for the protest that they were having, and I took my camera as I always did, and I started recording live, which is a very weird thing to do, because I don't go live, I don't know what it was, but I just thought for my safety, because you never know these days what people are saying, and they might say something, they might record you and put it out in a negative way. So for my safety and security, I just took the camera. But I had it in between my chest and my jacket. So not everybody could tell that I was recording. Right. So I was just walking around, and, I went up to the people and I was asking them. There were only 2 people there. Sorry, 2 women and a man, 3 people there. And I was just asking them normal questions. And all they could tell me is about far right this, far right that. And I said to them, can you explain me what is far right? They couldn't explain to me. No, they didn't know what was far right, but they just kept saying far right. And I was there and I pretended to be that I don't speak English properly, and I said to them, can you explain me this? Can you tell me what is the meaning of this? They actually bought it, and they thought I was with them, because I was a Muslim guy who don't speak English.
I watched it live, and it was I was laughing my head off when you were like, they were just there, and you were like, we only had to support the Donald Trump, and they're like, no, we're not. And he's like, I'm in the wrong protest. I was crying laughing, but they did. And they were like, welcome in.
They welcomed me. So, and I said there was a lady there, and I asked her, I said, look, you are here for Donald Trump, but I don't see any of the boards that you have, the anti-Donald Trump. And I looked behind her, and I said, you've got the Palestinian thing. I didn't know you were coming here for that, because we are here for Donald Trump, but all I see, everything but the Donald Trump thing. So what it is about, are we just combining everything now? Which they do, basically, which they do. They will get the Black Lives Matters, they will get the LGBTQ.
Same people wearing different T-shirts. That's exactly what it is.
So that's what they do. So basically, looking at them, what I understood that day, again, obviously, for me, this is a learning cup. I'm always learning. I'm always hungry for knowledge. So that day I've seen something which I believe in now. I couldn't believe it before. I just I just realized that these people are just there. They don't know why they're there themselves. They're just there. Either they've been paid to be there, right? They've been told by people to be there. And I used to think to myself, if they are just there and they can't even explain to me why they're there, if I'm there for something, if you ask me, I'll explain it to you why I'm there. What my concerns are, like I've did it to you in Guildhall and everyone else. But these people couldn't tell me anything. But anyways, we were just walking around, minding my own business. Then I see this guy just came in very hostile, and he went towards Stan, and I seen him grabbing for his phone, and I looked at this guy. I was like, oh, you know, what's his problem? Because Stan was very far away, just holding his camera, and just walking around. So I seen him doing that, and I thought, you know, I'll just go and speak to him. So I went there, and I literally said, hello, sir. And he looked at me. He didn't shake my hand. He just said to me, Sohail. And I was like, for me, I was shocked. How the hell he know my surname? And I was like, no, I'm not Sohail. He was like, you are Sohail. I said, I'm Shoaib. He said, yeah, Shoaib Sohail. And you work for the city council. And I was looking at him. I was like, what do you mean I work for the city council? How do you know I work for the city council? I don't tell nobody. And then he said to me, oh, step aside. I want to speak to you. Come on this side. So he was taking me basically behind where the fountain is, when nobody was there. So the police and everybody was on the other side. So he said to me, come on this side. I want to have a chat with you. And as I was walking with him, he somehow seen the camera, and he said to me, put your camera down. Put it down. And I said, I'm not going to put it down because it's for my safety. He said, well, well, you should not be concerned of your safety. I'm not intimidating you. He said, I'm not intimidating you. And the next word he said to me, oh, I work for the city council.
Sohail?
Who's Sohail?
Sohail?
Shoaib.
Shoaib Sohail?
Yeah, that's me.
Work for the city council?
Who, city council? I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't know.
Put it over here and talk
Of course I will talk to you.
Put that down.
I'm not going to put that down. I'm going to speak to you. For my safety.
That is not for your safety.
It
I
is
am
for my
not.
safety.
I am work for the city council.
Oh, well, that's good.
I am a unison rep.
Okay.
Just to put into perspective for the people watching, okay, this guy we know, and you see a picture of him now. His name is Martin Chapman. He is prominent in stand-up to racism, has been for years. Every time Voice of Wales have been anywhere reporting, Martin Chapman, Alice Greeley's the grey-haired lady, and Richard Rose, who is a music teacher. I don't know if he's a music teacher for Swansea Council, but he certainly is a music teacher. But Martin Chapman calls everyone Nazis, he's called me a Nazi many times. We've got it on video over and over again. He's a council employee. So
and higher up. He's higher up.
Higher up.
Yeah.
So he's on about, let's just say, close to politician wage. As in MP. So he's earning a good wage.
Oh, big
socialist.
Big money.
Socialist earning, you know, doing well.
And he's the one who would organize these protests as well.
Yes.
So so this happened, and this happened on Thursday night. I was in on Friday morning, but I actually got a message from one of my bosses at 7:30 in the morning, which nobody works at 7:30. No. They don't start at 8:30. Anyways, I got this message, and they asked me to come to the Civic Centre, and they said to me, "Oh, you need to come to this."
Civic Centre as well is not where you normally work.
I don't work in Civic Centre. Yeah, I used to work in Guildhall. So Civic Centre, they said you need to come in, and we need to have a chat. And I asked her if it's going to be a formal chat or an informal chat. She said, "Oh, it's informal. I just wanna touch a basis just to make sure that you're okay."
Oh, yes. Okay.
So I'm okay. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know why they would say that, because everything's been fine.
Yeah.
And I thought maybe it's got something to do with my work. But my work usually is up to the very high standard.
I make certificates to prove.
Yeah, exactly. I've showed you the certificate. You've seen it. Yeah. So
excellent achievement certificates from Swansea Council.
Helping the team. Helping the team. Literally leading the team. A good leader and everything. And I've achieved this literally within 9 months of me working there. So they said to me they wanted me to come in, and I was like, okay. I went in to speak to them. First, it was an ambush because she wasn't there by herself. She had another lady there who was jotting down the minutes of meeting.
Who was this lady? Was she HR?
She is, well, she's one of the managers, but I think she was acting as HR right there and there.
So she was taking minutes?
She was taking minutes.
So that's pretty formal.
It is formal, yeah. So it did happen, it was formal. But like I said, I went in there. And next thing I see, she brought up a laptop. And she said, oh, you know, these are your racist comments. So we're going one by one, right? The first one she picked up, and I literally laughed at her. And I said, you're telling me that this is racist. So what it was an imam from the Swansea, or a mosque in Swansea, who was raping little girl. And when the girl, told her husband, oh, this guy, I've seen him on YouTube doing a speech, oh, this guy used to rape me and used to sexually harass me and molest me. We need to go to the police. They went to the police, and this guy got off because he supposedly had dementia. So this guy... So what I did, there was a news article, I just reposted it. So what this woman was telling me, my boss was telling me, you need to take this down, you need to take this post on, and I said, why? It's not my post. I just reposted. I'm trying to inform people, just to let them know, right, that this is something that is happening here, and it is done by a Muslim person. I'm not just making this up. I'm not even writing anything about it. I'm just saying, exactly as it is. So I said, how is this racist, and how is this going against anything that you have? She kept telling me it's going against the code of conduct about the Swansea Council. But to which I said to her, well, I have the right, which is Article 10.
Yeah, Article 10 is human rights.
Human right, which is basically override the code of conduct by the Swansea Council or any council or any workplace at all.
Yeah.
So this gives me my freedom of speech.
Their code of conduct does not supersede your freedom of speech and your human rights.
Exactly, like it didn't, in the case of Martin Chapman, because he got his views, I got mine.
Yes. But I think, and that's it. So they give you that tweet and they said this is racist. So you share in a news article which is true and factual is racist, apparently.
And the reason why I told her why I shared it, because very close to me, because I went to the Islamic school and I was, sexually harassed there for 4 years. 4 years, and that was non-stop. You wouldn't have a day where the teacher, so-called in Quran in one hand, and he make you sit on your, in between your legs. And as a child, I didn't know what was going on. They would do that. They would touch you inappropriately. They had their fun, and then they would go to the toilet for hours and hours. God knows what they're doing in there. But this is all it was. So it was so close to me, and I told her. I said I shared it because it happened to me. And if I can raise my voice and I can just have 1 or 2 people knowing what actually goes into these Islamic school, and you need to save your children, and I don't care, like whoever you are, because a lot of people go to these Islamic schools are Muslims. So I'm just telling them, not saying them, oh, don't go at all, but you need to be aware of what's going on.
Yeah.
If you're not aware, you're unaware, because a lot of the people I know, they haven't read Quran themselves. They have no idea about Islam, but they like to be like, oh, we haven't done it, but we're going to force everything on our children.
Well, you said this as well to Nikki Nisha, who goes into schools.
Yes, I have said
so
that.
Nikki Nisha goes into schools to teach kids. What did Nikki say about this?
I told him, I was saying to him when I met him, and I said to him, in these madrasas and these places, I go sexually harassed. He laughed and he said, oh, well, it happens to everybody. So it's a fact.
And he's in schools.
Yeah, so it's a fact. It does happen in here, right? It does happen in school, because he's not talking about schools in Pakistan or Saudi Arabia. There, he's talking about the UK, whether it's in England, whether it's in Swansea, whether it's in Cardiff. It doesn't matter. It does happen. And so he confirmed that fact, and I looked at it, and they were like, oh, it happens everywhere, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So I think with that, obviously, for me, it didn't sit right, because it happened to me. So yeah, and then she showed me another thing, again, which was just basically nothing. And then what they said to me, because every time they'll show me a screenshot, which I have actually asked them to give it to me, so I can share it with you, so you can see for yourself if there was racist or not, and then you can tell me if I was being racist or not. But the moment they start showing me these screenshots, and I keep coming back with them with a fact, not an excuse, but a fact, why I shared it, they didn't know what to say. So what she did, she closed the laptop, and she said to me, you know what now? I'm giving you a full day, 24 hours, to go back to your home now, right? Start deleting all these posts. So I said to her, I will delete it, because obviously I was worried about my job. This is my only income. I don't get any benefits. I'm not on any benefits. I can't get on benefits because I'm a legal citizen.
And they basically gave you a day to go
and delete everything. Yeah.
Because what she said is to close the whole thing down.
Yeah, she said YouTube, X, everything. So what I said to her, she said you need to close everything down, because what I was giving her was
as
excuse.
a Swansea Council employee, you're not allowed a political view.
Yeah, but it was my personal experience, but I don't know how it was political. They made it political, but yeah. So when I said to her, oh, but I need to do work. I've got, things that I do on a daily basis. I need to do. If I don't do it, it will be a backlog. She said, I don't care.
I don't care.
I don't care. You need to go and you need to delete everything today, because if you don't do it, we'll be taking the next step. So I asked her, what is the next step? She said, no, I'm giving you a chance to go back and do it. So after that...
She actually said as well, because I remember we spoke just after it, she actually, when you said, what's the next step? She said, well, we don't need to go into that. She also said, the thing is, if you want to continue to work for Swansea Council, you need to remove it.
Yes.
So that's a threat.
That's
if you don't remove it, you're not going to continue to work for Swansea Council.
And that's what I said to her. I said, I wish you called me here today to let me know that, your work wasn't good. I would have accepted that. I would say, yeah, you know what? If I'm a bad worker, if I'm not doing the job you've appointed me to do, please fire me right now. I will actually take the leave like I always do. I'm a better man. So she said to me, no, it's not about that. And I was looking at the other lady, and I was like, how is this racist? Like, literally, how is you telling me these things? Not only that, that woman actually, my boss, actually, while she was talking to me, there was a tweet, a post that I reposted, and I didn't call anybody a monkey or anything. It was actually a clip where it was written there that a black American man going out telling people, "Hey, Chinese monkey,
monkeys, yeah.
get out of my country." So all I written it down. I didn't call him a monkey. All I said, I don't see a mirror. Who is he calling a monkey? So that's what I said. But I said in a way, if you call me stupid, I'll be like, oh well, look at yourself in the mirror. You're the stupid.
Yeah.
So that woman said to me, "Oh, we have a clip where you are comparing blacks to monkeys." And I looked at her. I said, I don't do that. I never done that. Show it to me. She couldn't find out. Then I turned around and said to her, "Oh, guess what? Maybe you are the racist. Because you are white and you are racist. You just compared a man to a monkey because you believe he's a monkey. You said it. I never said it." And she just got, "No, it's not that." And I looked at the other woman. I said, I hope you're making the notes of it because I would like to see that you put this down what I'm telling her.
And
because
she hasn't given
she
you
hasn't.
notes.
She hasn't given me. Not only that, she have actually full on called a black man monkey. No, I didn't call him.
Yeah.
She called him a monkey, a white lady. And I said to her, do you not see now how it's... Imagine this was all being recorded. Can you just imagine if this was recorded and I leak everything to the X?
Yeah,
this is the media now because I don't believe the mainstream media. Imagine if I leaked whatever she said. And I would have said to people, judge her by her character and judge me for what I've done. People will be jumping on her.
And the thing is, you want the notes. And you're entitled to the notes
Yeah.
because you want to seek advice on the situation.
Exactly.
So they have to give you these notes. So simple as
And the
that.
screenshots as well.
And the screenshots
Yes.
and all the evidence that they use. Now, they mentioned Voice of Wales. You're not allowed to share anything for Voice of Wales because of politics. Now, Voice of Wales is a registered media company. The Swansea Council know this. They may not like it, but they know it. So they know. So you are not allowed to share Voice of Wales stuff. So just as much as you won't be allowed to share Wales Online, we're as much as a media team as them. But the issue is you've now lost your job.
I have lost my job.
So because of your politics.
Because I told them I'm not gonna take nothing off.
Yeah.
At the moment I left, they gave me a call. They said, "Yeah, you're not working for us anymore."
So that's it. That's your employment.
And literally within 30 minutes, they told me to return my badge as well as my laptop. 30 minutes.
And that was emotional for you, wasn't it?
Very much, of course. The thing is, look, like I said, I know how I got the job. I know the interviews that I did. For me, it was very emotional, especially standing in the Civic Centre when I was waiting for them to come and collect my, come and collect my badge and my laptop from me. I just thought it was... It was heartbreaking because I worked really hard for this job.
And it's a sad situation to be in when you have worked really hard for that job.
And you have seen the certificates, how hard I've worked.
Yeah, but for no matter how good you were, because you stepped out of line slightly, and you had to go. Now, my thing is, and this is a message to Swansea Council, Martin Chapman, Richard Rose, if he works there as well, if he's employed by the council, why are they allowed to have their politics? Why is Richard Rose allowed to be calling people Nazis while getting paid £90,000 a year by Swansea Council as a social worker? Okay, so why is he allowed his opinions? You have given your opinions for a couple of months. He's done it for years. Why have you lost your job? And why hasn't he?
So, but I think he haven't lost his job because that's exactly what the whole Swansea Council is doing. So they are promoting something that they know there are the more votes, there are the more people because the community is more with them. And they know they will win these things and they keep winning. The thing that I'm scared of, like, everybody knows now that he's a social service worker. And him being a social service worker, imagine that my kids, they're special needs and if they need any help. And this guy turns up to my house, you know what he's going to do? He's not going to give me the help that I need.
No,
and this is what I don't need. If I was a social worker, I can turn up to my enemy's house. I would have everything against the father and the mother and the parents and the family. But when I see a child or an adult who need help, I will help them because that is the job that I've been appointed to. But he's not doing that. And that is scary. That is scary. So this is the reason why you have the, the silence majority. Because of these things. When you have Swansea Council, the people who've been appointed to look after the people of the city, right? Not for anyone else. Not for your immigrants, illegal immigrants. None of that. For the people of the city who live in Swansea. And when they fail to do this, right? They are so busy getting all the budget money in their pocket. When it comes to this, you need to hire more people to do a good job. We don't have budget. Then why are you on 90k per annum? What is your job description? I would like to see. I have been in there and I have seen people sitting on higher posts. They don't know and they don't have the knowledge or the education more than me. And I was a grade 5, which for me, I'm fine. And I've seen people working in grade 5 for 10, 20, 30 years. This is the reality of it. They want to take all the money from the people. They want to take everything. When it comes to the homeless people on the street, when it comes to the veterans of the country, oh, we don't have money.
Well,
we don't have money. But we can go 3, 4, 5 times in a year on holidays, on a cruise ship, because we can and we will. So you're not loyal to the country. You're calling me a traitor. You are the biggest traitor.
It's really sad that you have, for speaking out and standing by what you believe, you've been ostracised from the community, so to say, because you've had messages go around through the mosque and through restaurants, things like that. Your friends, your social life has been impacted, so now you don't get to socialise with your friends. Your job, you've lost your job. And all of this because you dared to speak the truth. So my message to Swansea Council is we're going to be chasing up on this with Martin Chapman, because if Shoaib isn't allowed opinion, then neither is bloody 90k Martin Chapman. And also, the people from the basketball, Rizwan, I'd love to sit down and have a chat with him.
Yeah, he's not going to, he's a coward. He's a coward.
Yeah, well, he had to have 8 people there to say what he had to say, so he is a coward. More importantly, the guy I think sounds nice. I'd love to sit down and have a chat with him.
He's a nice guy.
Because I think I could explain things to him and how he's been misled.
Yeah, but I think it'll be the pressure. They won't do it.
No, they won't be allowed, because if he sat down and spoke with us, and opened up and gave that opportunity for his mind to open up a little bit, that's zero tolerance, and then he'd be ostracised. And then he's got concerns for his family as well. But look, Shoaib, thank you very much for coming in and sharing this. Obviously, you know that we will be here for you, and anything that you need, we will do. Anything we need to put out, we will. You're not going to let it go with Swansea Council?
Oh no, I will not. I am running after them. I will chase this, and I will make sure that people who have, who have so much hope from the Swansea Council, the people of the city, they get what they deserve. And I'm going to make sure, as an immigrant, as a legal immigrant, not from the UK, I will fight this fight legally and the right way, and we will do it.
Shoaib, legend. Thank you very much.
Thank you.